everyone, Alexandra here, owner and founder of Vinok Personal Stylist, where we help good people look the part. One of my favorite things of all time to do is talk about fashion and talk about how to spend your money wisely and that sort of thing. So that's what we're going to be doing today as we get into the Amazon Prime Black Friday week, where it's a bunch of sales. I don't recommend you fill your cart up with a bunch of Amazon stuff that's like cheap and not going to last, but there are some designer bags and other things too. But today we're going to be talking about designer bags that are 20% off, and they are my favorite, consignment, pre-loved. So I've set aside 3 that I really want to talk about today, and we're going to talk about the history of them too, because everything is so much more special if you understand a little bit of its backstory. So without further ado, here I am on the site, and you can see it's in pre-loved deals. Okay, see how everything is basically saved 20% at checkout? These are already some decent prices. We're gonna come down, and we're gonna start here with this Miu Miu blue Nappa leather crossbody blue, okay? And we're gonna talk about why that's like an awesome one in just a second. But first I wanna show you a little bit about it. So here it is. Look at that beautiful braided leather. I love it. I love it so much. We'll talk about why I like Miu Miu later and what that brand gets its name from. But buttery soft, structured. You know I love a structured bag. I like hobo has its place, but if you're talking about like investing in leather, I'd recommend for the most part going structured. Crossbody strap is great, especially for my travel girlies like me. You love to travel all over the place. It's always so much. I always feel more secure when I have my bag strapped across my chest like a bandolier. Because then I know for a fact that to take that bag off of me or to pickpocket me, you're gonna have to get through my line of vision. Ain't nobody done it yet. Don't take that as a challenge. I'm a nice person and I deserve nice things. So do you. So anyway, faint scuffing on the hardware, it says, always make sure you read these parts because you don't want to get blindsided. We've all done it. I've done it before. I recently ordered this beautiful Colombian designer dress and I didn't read close enough and it had this giant hole in the sleeve. So I'm bummed out about that. So it happens. But read those parts, okay? Look at all the photos. So here we are looking at photos. Oh, God, that's beautiful. Look at that. Beautiful stitching. Nice snaps. Let's go full view on that. Look at that. I love it. You know what else I love is harmony in outfits. So if I were to wear this bag, it's small. I would take this giant mop of hair of mine, which by the way, sorry, didn't comb it. I'm doing my best. I did comb it this morning, but that was like a lifetime ago. I would braid my hair. If I were wearing this bag, I would braid my hair because that little extra bit of symmetry, it actually adds a lot. Plus it's such a dainty bag. I don't know if you saw the measurements there, but it's like 6 inches and 3/4 in length. And then it's almost like a square. It's just shy of a square. So it's not a big bag at all, like half of a ruler. So it's very dainty. So I would put my hair into a braid and also, you know, keep that kind of tight and dainty. And that little extra bit of symmetry would really carry my entire outfit. And by the way, because the bag is blue, I would keep that the most interesting part of my outfit, and I would wear neutral colors. So anyway, that's what I recommend. Look at those photos one more time while I tell you about why this bag is so cool. Okay, so with the Miu Miu Nappa leather crossbody, first of all, a little bit of history. This is named after Miu Miu, Prada's rebellious little sister brand. It's named after Miuccia Prada. Miuccia, M-I-U-C-C-I-A. Her childhood nickname was Miu Miu, which is so cute. Because think about whatever your childhood nickname was. Mine was Xana Banana. That would be such a cute name for a handbag company brand, but it's never gonna happen because I don't have the patience to make these things. Anyway, this one is giving luxury, designer. You know what else it reminds me of is Y2K. And celebrities like Bella Hadid, Hailey Bieber, all of these others who are starting to carry around these like Y2K, butterfly clip, jelly sandal vibes. they're reviving these kinds of styles, this Y2K style. But this one is perfect if you want like a designer bag that feels soft, casual, but still structured. And it's not loud, but it's not quiet. So to me, it's like the Goldilocks porridge of bags, and I just love it. I love the color, and I like an excuse to wear my hair in a braid too. So that's the Miu Miu Nappa leather crossbody. Okay, so that's the Miu Miu pre-loved blue Nappa leather crossbody. I love everything about it. I love everything about it. And one more thing, you know, you've heard me talk about color seasons a lot. Because you're not wearing this bag up here under your chin, you know, it's not reflecting onto your face. It doesn't matter what color season you are. Anybody, it's more about like, what colors do you like? You know, anybody could wear this bag, whether you're a winter or a summer or any number of gradients. You know, there's 12 or some people even say 16. Everybody's safe. This bag is good for everybody. You can't beat 20% off. So yeah, that's that one. That's number one. Let's move on to number two. All right, guys, moving on to one of my all-time favorite designers. You already know who it is. I feel like a rapper, like, oh God, what is his name? DJ Khaled or somebody, any number of rappers are like, or DJs are like, you already know what this is. You already know what this is. This is going to be my favorite designer of all time. Say it with me, Dior. Here we are. Okay, $41.50 for this pre-loved embroidered. Let's just go to it. We'll talk about it in a second. Look at it. Behold, behold. It is beautiful. But you know what we do? We check the description. That's the first thing we do. Pre-fall 2018, so it's still very recent. By Maria Grazia Chiori. Oh, God. I've studied like the last several iterations of their designers, and I just really loved her stuff. This one had, okay, I did a video, gosh, maybe 3 years ago, 2 years ago, somewhere in there, about the politics and the undertones, the political and activism undertones that Dior's been displaying lately. 10 out of 10, here for it. They put a lot of, I think it was last year, they put a lot of women in very masculine clothing. It was right on the heels of the overturn of Roe v. Wade. It was like a year and a half ago. And I'm just so impressed. I continue to be impressed with Dior. They were born of political activism. Maybe that's not a valid point to say, but they were, since their inception, involved in political activism. I wouldn't say they were born from it, because they were born from a failed gallery that Dior tried to start, and I'm so glad he failed in that venture, because I don't think I'd be as excited about some of his paintings or paintings he collected than I am about his clothing and his purses. But anyway, the Lady Dior silhouette. We'll talk about why it's called Lady Dior in a minute, because it's fascinating. First, I want to show you the bag, then we'll talk through the history. Although it talks a little bit about it here. Don't look. Okay, light tarnishing to the hardware, light scuffing to the leather top handle. So now that we know that, we're going to look for that in the photos, which I will bring up. And as we're looking at the photos, I will talk a little bit about this bag and its history. All right, for the Christian Dior Lady Dior with black clover embroidery. This one, oh, okay, you know I love Dior. You know they're my favorite. If you want a handbag with an iconic story, this one is it. So we all remember, at least everyone in their 30s, I would say, remembers Princess Diana. I remember where I was in elementary school, early, maybe I hadn't started it yet. But I remember when she was killed, when she unfortunately passed away. Anyway, she carried this bag in the 90s, and Dior literally renamed it after her. Originally, they were going to call it, oh God, what were they going to call it? I don't remember. I'll have to remind me in the comments, and I'll write it down later, because I had it in my head earlier today. They had an original name for it. It was like the Dream or the Lucky or something along those lines. But they renamed it the Lady Dior because of her, because she was just photographed so many times wearing it. Dior himself was incredibly superstitious, and I just have a thought, which I feel like you can see in real time when my ADHD takes me to different planets. I have this beautiful star of Dior that I keep on one of my bags, and it's because he was so superstitious. Ukrainians are super superstitious too, so it resonates. But he was on his way to open his store on the very first day in 30 Avenue La Montagne, and he saw a star on the ground, took it as a good omen, and made it into a cornerstone of his building and of his empire. And now that's why you see stars and clovers, and I don't know if he believed in tarot. My research hasn't suggested that, but he did believe in like some kind of universal luck. So super cool. And so clovers obviously are known for their lucky properties, and that's what he was trying to capture with this bag. So it's not just a bag, in my opinion, it's a collector piece, couture detailing. I love it. The embroidery too makes it very, very handcrafted. Embroidered variations are not mass produced like the modern like quilted lambskin one that we think of. They're rarer, they're more artisanal. Chouchou, which is favorite. Like the French press originally nicknamed it the favorite, but Dior, the brand, because he had since passed away, but the Dior brand named it after Lady Diana, so the Lady Dior. Attention to the little feet on the bottom too. I'm never gonna buy a bag that doesn't have the feet, because as much as I hate it, sometimes you just find yourself in a position where you have to put your bag down. You're going through security, for example, at an airport, or that's a cool reason, but still I have to put my bag down. I don't like doing that. So the feet help. The feet help a lot. They protect the bottom of the bag. And look at this one. It's basically flawless. I'm not seeing that tarnishing of hardware, but I'm going to trust. Oh, I did not make this. We didn't coordinate on that. That just happened. I am going to blur her last name and her workplace out. I met her at my last job. One of my favorite people on this planet. All right, I still don't see tarnishing. That said, I'm not going to say that there is none. I'll take their word for it. But the fact that I don't see it is good. Okay, moving on to our last one, which, if memory serves, you know I'm never going to recommend Chanel. And if you don't know why, you should come to my next Poshmark show, because I obliterate Chanel. If you're curious, leave a comment. Happy to respond. But we're not wasting our breath on Chanel tonight. There was something I was here we go! Really excited about. The pre-loved Intrecciato duffel bag, brown, by Bottega Veneta. First of all, I am such a fan of this cross-hatched, basket woven looking style of theirs that's so iconic. But that's not why I like this particular bag, although that definitely adds to it. What do we do first? We go to the description. 20% off of $39.50, not bad. Okay, pre-owned, we knew that. Introduced in the 60s, the Intrecciato woven leather became a signature. We already talked about that. It's leather strips in a crisscross, which is just so unique. It's so unique. And as you know, it's going to be very strong, because anytime you double up leather or any kind of material, like remember when we were kids and we made those little chains out of paper that looked like that? And we did they were tacky as hell, but we did it and we were so excited about them. And it was stronger than just regular paper. You could pull on it a little bit and it would still give a little bit of like resistance. That was cool. Anyway, Intrecciato means woven in Italian. So it's long, it's 22.5 inches, so think almost 2 rulers long. And then it's 1 ruler tall, 12 inches. And gunmetal hardware I like, but let's look at the photos. That's the real test. It doesn't talk about any like notable damage, just faint scuffing on the hardware. So, okay, so I'll be the judge of that. Let's look. I'll tell you a little bit about it too. The right word. Their philosophy was when your own initials are enough, meaning we don't need to like have this fancy logo, design, or any of that. Like, people know who we are. And this woven, because again, Intrecciato means woven in Italian. This bag embodies that. Notice there's not a logo to be seen, there's no monograms, just that hand-woven leather. Cool fact about this, the weave exists because the early Bottega Veneta machines. They couldn't sew thick leather. So instead, the artisans wove the leather over by hand. And what started off as limitation, like, could you imagine being told, like, oh, we can't actually sew this leather, so you're just gonna have to take tiny little quarter-inch strips and do that ad nauseum until you die? That started as a limitation, but it became their signature. And so, in a long story short, like, so in essence, this duffel bag is for someone who loves craftsmanship, because that's what the focus is on for this bag. Minimal branding, timeless design, instead of in-your-face design and logos. So I like Bottega Veneta for that reason, among others. But I hope this was helpful. Those are the 3 items that I would recommend. There are just obviously no shortage. I think there was 22 plus pages of just designer bag after designer bag, and there's Fendi, and there's Saint Laurent, and there's Celine, and all these others too. So if you, I saw Gucci on there, like if you are particular about certain brands, chances are it's up there. What wasn't was Chloe. I looked, because that was one of my faves, but plenty of Dior to choose from and others. So if you are looking for a gift for yourself, or you're looking for a gift for your loved one for the holidays, this might be a really good place to start, because you're not going to beat 20% off. Yeah, there's a slight markup with Amazon, but it's 20% is fantastic, honestly. And these bags are very clearly hand curated. Like, they're not, this is a step above what you might find on like Poshmark, except in certain rare exceptions. These are all in really, really excellent condition. So you're getting good quality. That's why I like designer in the first place. You're getting good quality. You're getting real leather. You're getting, you know, reinforced corners and hardware and all of that. So if you want to put your money down, this would be a good place to do it. I hope this was helpful. I'm gonna do one that's sub $1,000 next, because I believe that fashion should be approachable. And I understand that under $1,000 doesn't automatically make it approachable. Trust me, not lost on me. Promise you that. I couldn't just throw $1,000 on a bag right now. But I want people to see these different price points and make it a little bit more attainable for them. But this was the over $1,000 video, so I hope it helped. Leave me a comment below, which one do you like the best, and would love to read those and know that these videos are reaching the people who I'm making them for. Happy Thanksgiving, happy holiday, whatever you choose to celebrate, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!